Meanwhile, in Saskatchewan, a former junior hockey coach has been sentenced for the sexual assault of a teenage player. Bernie Lynch was convicted last month. Now, the charges date back to events in the 1980s. They came in the wake of a CBC News investigation. Our senior investigative reporter, Jonathan Gatehouse, has been following the case closely.
These charges date back to a summer hockey school in Regina 35 years ago. The victim, who was then a 17-year-old prospect for the Regina Pats, was asked to work at the camp as an instructor, and Lynch, then the team's assistant coach, offered to let him stay at his apartment. During the trial in September, the former player, now in his 50s, told the court that when he arrived at Lynch's apartment, the coach plied him with alcohol and bullied him into parading naked in front of a window, and later, as the victim took a shower in an attempt to sober up, he said Lynch broke into the bathroom and sexually assaulted him.
And so now, Jonathan, what did the judge have to say in handing down his sentence this morning?
Justice Peter Bergbush said that Lynch took advantage of hockey's culture of silence, using his status as a coach to prey on a vulnerable youth in his care. And he handed down a 3-year sentence for the sexual assault, endorsing the Crown's submission that this was a serious crime that deserved a significant federal sentence. Lynch himself spoke before the sentence was delivered, standing and categorically denying ever having had sexual relations with the then teenager. Then as the sentence was delivered, he sat shaking his head.
Okay, so we know what the sentence is now. Wondering what happens next, Jonathan?
Well, Lynch, who was free on bail throughout his trial, was taken into custody this morning and will be transferred to a federal facility. But questions still remain about his other stops during his 40-year-plus coaching career in Canada, the U.S., and across Europe. As we detailed in our past CBC News investigations, Lynch was suspended and then fired by a junior A team in Fort Frances, Ontario in early 2021 for sending dozens of inappropriate texts and emails to a 20-year-old player. And there were also concerns about Lynch's previous coaching job with the Edson Arrows in Edson, Alberta, where parents had complained that he had formed a close, controlling relationship with a teenage player, going so far to alert both the team and the league about their suspicions. Those CBC News reports are ultimately what convinced the former Regina Pats prospect to go to police. Earlier this month, the former player read out a victim impact statement in court. "Hockey was my life. 2 days in August changed all that. Bernie Lynch changed all that," he said. Then he addressed Lynch directly. "You will never take anything away from me again," he said.
That is CBC's senior investigative reporter, Jonathan Gatehouse.